right, man, welcome to today's episode, The Counterintuitive Way to Get More Attention, Appreciation, and Affection from Your Wife. So, I know a lot of you guys, that's what you're hoping for. I know when things were bad in my marriage, that was really what I was hoping for. Just if my wife would just do that, more attention, more appreciation, more affection, right? So, we're going to learn how to get that. Now, I want to share a client win with you. This is from our private Facebook group of the Strongman System. The gentleman says, she asked me the other day if I thought things between us would ever go back to normal. And I told her no, because if things work out with us, I want it to be better than we were. I've learned so much about myself and how I was as a husband. She was speechless. Okay. I like this example because this is what we're talking about today. Really, the win or the way that you are going to get more attention, appreciation, and affection and have a great marriage is to stop thinking your wife's going to give that to you and do stuff like this guy is saying, being strong, like saying, no, I don't want that, I want something better, right? That's because he respects himself enough to know that that's what he wants. So romantic movies have really shot us in the foot with what we think a great marriage or a great relationship would look like. So this idea that the best relationships are built on needing each other, you complete me, right, is a famous quote from a romantic movie. This idea that we're not whole without the other person. Okay. Now, in some ways, that is true. Okay? We can accomplish more together in a marriage than we can separately. There are things that we do need our wife for, which I'll get into, but it's often misunderstood. So, what do you actually need your wife for? Okay. You need your wife to procreate, right? To have children. You need your wife to create a stronger family. A family is stronger when you have a husband and a wife that are working as a team that can bring different viewpoints, and it just makes a stronger family to have a husband and wife together. In my belief in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, this is part of becoming more like our Heavenly Father, more like God, to be in a marriage. So these needs, these are appropriate. They're good, right? They're needs that we have that we can evolve, become better people because we're married, create a stronger family. But what do some guys need their wife for? Or what do some guys need, quote unquote, need from their wife? Attention, appreciation, and affection. This is what it really boils down to. I want my wife to be grateful for the things I do. I want my wife to stop looking at her phone so much and pay attention to what I'm doing and saying. I want her to kiss me. I want her to hug me. I want her to have sex with me. Okay? And we think that's what it's going to really make it work. But why do we really need those? What it does is it helps build up our self-esteem and self-worth, right? We want her to pay attention, appreciate us, show us affection so we can feel good about ourselves, so we can feel worthy, so we can feel like we matter. Now, the issue is that's needy, right? If you don't feel like you have worth, if you don't feel strong in who you are without your wife kind of propping up your ego all the time, okay, that's needy. It's not attractive. It's not strong. On the other hand, when you already have a solid sense of self worth and you know that you're a strong and a good man, because again, that comes from inside. It does feel good. I'm not saying it doesn't. It does feel good when your wife gives you that affirmation, right? When she says, wow, like, I really love you. You're such a great dad. You're such a great husband. I'm so glad I'm married to you. Of course, that feels good. But it comes as a natural consequence of you knowing that yourself, right? And working on that yourself. Because when you know that, right? When you know you're a strong and a good man, when you know you're a good catch, when you know you're working towards something big, right? You choose to be with your wife out of many other potential options. If you ask me, hey, Mike, would you be able to get married to somebody else? Yeah, I would say for sure. Yeah, I feel good about who I am. I know how to communicate well. I am taking care of myself physically and financially. Yeah, I'm a good catch. And I could choose somebody else if I want, but I don't want another person. I want my wife. That is the position you want to be in. Not, oh, I need my wife. I need my wife. I can't live without her, right? Yeah. Would I say that about my wife? Would I be devastated and crushed and extremely sad if she, for some reason, decided to divorce me? Of course I would. That'd be a terrible blow. Be super hard. We'd have to figure out how our kids would work and all that. But I know I'd get through that, and I know I'd be able to attract and have a great romantic relationship in the future because I have these strengths and skills. So that's where I want you guys to get to, right? So a lot of men will think that attention, appreciation, and affection are the same thing as respect and love, but they're actually not. Okay. That their wife isn't giving them those things. Also, this is a big one. We think if our wife's not giving us attention, appreciation, and affection, that they're not doing their job as a wife. I used to think this a lot, and it caused a lot of trouble. But what really we want, what really men, what we want from our wives is respect and love. A woman who chooses to be with us and respects the strong man that we are. That's what we really want. That's what a strong marriage is built on. But a lot of times, guys, they'll go about this the wrong way. Okay? The way that they'll go about it is by asking for more attention, appreciation, affection. Say, hey, you know, I want you to just appreciate me more. Oh, yeah, I was just working with a couple the other day. That's what he kept saying. I just want you to see what I'm doing a little bit more. Or, I want to have sex more. Just have sex with me more, and then things will be better. Or just pay attention. Stop looking at your phone so much. So they ask for that instead of finding more respect and love for themselves. Okay, this is what I want you guys to understand. When you have more respect and love for yourself, that naturally leads to more attention, appreciation, and affection from your wife. I promise this is how it works. So here's why asking for it does not work. It seems that's what seems intuitive, right? That's what seems like should work. That you just say, oh, my wife's not doing this. Let me just ask her to do more of it. And a lot of couples therapists, they're going to encourage this approach, right? They're going to say, just tell each other your needs and then meet them. That's a like big, that's basically like the main tenet of a lot of couples therapy. Express your needs and then try to meet each other's needs. Okay. But that's why couples therapy fails a lot. Like some stats say it's like 85% of couples are the same or worse off after couples therapy. And in my opinion, this is why, right? That you're saying, "Oh, just meet each other's needs. Just do what the other person wants." Instead of building up this sense of self that's strong and is not needy, and you can create this strong, intimate, joyful marriage. Okay? You can't build a strong, joyful, and intimate marriage without a strong and joyful and person who's willing to expose themselves and be vulnerable, which requires strength. Okay? And that's what we want, really. So telling each other's needs, it can be a good strategy, but only if you already have respect and love for yourself. Okay? Or else you're going to think, my wife has to do this so I can feel good about who I am, or so I can feel good about my marriage, or my husband has to do that. Because again, if you don't already have respect and love for yourself, this is what happens. You're going to say, oh yeah, my wife wrote me these notes, but she didn't mean it. Or it wasn't enough, or it wasn't done right. Yeah, we had sex, but she wasn't into it. Yeah, she told me she appreciated what I did, but I could tell it was just kind of forced. And it is. Okay? That's the thing. You know that it's not genuine because you basically kind of bullied your wife into it. And it doesn't feel that good. So you're basically asking your wife to fill up your bucket of self-esteem and love. Okay? But there's a huge hole in that bucket, right? Because you don't have that respect and love enough for yourself yet. Okay? You can do it. You have to patch that hole first and fill that bucket with something outside of your wife. Okay? Some people will get this sense of self-worth from God. That's where I get mine from. Knowing that I'm a son of God, knowing that I have value, knowing that I have worth, and then doing some other things that I'm going to share with you. But realizing like my wife can't give me respect and love. She can respect and love me, but that first has to come from me respecting and loving myself. Okay. If you don't respect yourself, other people can't respect you. That's just the way it is. Okay. And again, it's not that you never make requests. This what we're talking about here is why asking for attention, appreciation, and affection doesn't work. It's not that you can't say, "Hey, look, I'd like to be more intimate with you." Okay, but you're not attached to the result. Here's the difference: I want to have sex more with you because I just feel so bad and I want that as part of our marriage and I'm mad that it's not happening. Okay. You notice my voice went up. It's kind of whiny, right? It's like I'll being a mosquito. You think that that's going to fill you up, but it really isn't. Just trust me, it just isn't. Um, versus coming to your wife and saying, "Hey, look, our intimate life isn't where I like it to be. I want our marriage to be connected in all ways, including physically. And I want you sexually. I find you attractive. I want this to be part of our marriage. Okay. How can we make that work for both of us?" Now, notice how different that is. That's still a request. But even if she says no, like I still feel good about that request because I approach it from a place of strength, of wanting to connect with her. I know there is nothing uncomfortable or wrong about my wanting those things. That's strength. Okay. I can respect myself in that. And even if she says no, she's going to respect me more for approaching it in that way. Hey, you see the difference? So here you go. This is the counterintuitive way to get more of what you want. Again, it's not just asking for it. Okay. This is how you get more of what you want, more attention, appreciation, and affection. You start respecting your own opinions more. Okay, you be willing to challenge your wife in a controlled way with the one about sex, right? If your wife's like, no, 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 you say, hey, no, I want this as part of our marriage because it's important part of marriage. It's a reflection of the other things that are going on. I want a great relationship with you in all areas, including this. Okay. You challenge her, but from a place of strength. Another way you could do it, find a fair distribution of housework and childcare, right? Something that works for both of you. A lot of the guys I work with, they start taking on almost all of the household responsibilities, and they're doing it in a with this desire to serve in a way. But really, what's going on is they're hoping their wife will give them attention, appreciation, and affection for doing that. Okay, and that's not a good way to go about it. The way you do it instead is you figure out, okay, what works for both of us. Look, I'm doing everything. I'm done with that. Let's find a way that works for both of us. Okay? Sometimes it's the wife doing this that she wants more of a partner, right? And you learn how to turn any conflict into more connection. This is a huge skill. It's going to, take your all of your relationships to that next level. You start taking care of your own physical strength and health. Notice a lot of this is about prioritizing yourself. Moving yourself up as equal to your wife. Oh, a lot of guys that I work with, that's the issue. They kind of put their wives on this big pedestal and don't see themselves as equal to them. Sometimes it happens that a guy sees themselves above their wife. And a lot of times actually it goes back and forth because if you don't have that strong sense of self, sometimes you're below and then you don't get the attention, appreciation, affection you want. You go above, you say, hey, I earned this. Look at everything I do for you. And you get mad and you try to kind of push her down. So it's a bad cycle, but a common one. But this is how you get out of it. You start taking care of yourself. You start building up your mental strength and skill. You start noticing your thoughts. You figure out tools to choose your thoughts. You create and focus on your big mission in life, okay? Including stuff that's outside of your family. Like for me, my family is right there, like super important. But first is God in my life, and then is me, okay? It's taking care of myself, body, mind, heart, and spirit. Because if I'm not taking care of myself, I'm not doing as good a job taking care of my family. Okay, base my worth on something that's infinite and solid, not my wife's opinion, but for me, this idea that I'm a son of God. You spend time with your friends, you build up your hobbies, right? You do those things that bring you joy that are not just your wife and kids. Of course, your wife and kids bring you joy, but there's also a lot of other aspects of you as a person that you want to start building back up, remembering who you are. When you guys first were attracted to each other and started dating, you weren't spending every moment together. You weren't doing all her dishes all the time, right? When you were dating. Maybe you did that some, but you weren't, you know, every single thing you did wasn't just to try to make her happy, right? What attracted you together in the first place was that you were building yourself up. Maybe you were in school or maybe you're at work and your wife saw, hey, like this is a guy who is on a mission. He knows what he wants. He has good friends, he has good relationships, he's taking care of himself, right? So a lot of us lose that and it's time to go back to that. It's time to respect ourselves again enough to respect those desires and hobbies that we have outside the family. It seems, again, it's counterintuitive because what a lot of us think is, no, I should put everything I've got into my family. You do prioritize your family. I believe very strongly in prioritizing your family. above other things in your life. However, you still have to prioritize yourself. You have to prioritize taking care of you. Again, you want attention, appreciation, and affection. That's why we're here. That's why you're listening to this. The way you're going to get it is by developing respect and love for yourself. Okay? Because the funny thing is, if your wife said, "Hey, I want to go pick up this cooking class," a lot of you guys would say, "Yeah, go for it." Or I want to learn, or like my wife, I want to start a business. Yeah, go for it, do it. But you won't allow yourself that same freedom. Yeah, go hang with friends, but you won't do it yourself. Right? So start respecting yourself enough to do that. Yeah, I want to do this. I want to build up these strengths. I want to go play tennis again. That's what I did this week. You want to stand up and protect your wife and kids against negative influences. This is a big one. Okay? This is one that I'm working on myself, is being more of that protector role, saying, hey, you know, just getting those negative influences out. If people are being negative towards my wife, she's kind of in the public eye right now with her business. If people are negative about that, making them answer for that, standing up, being strong. Discipline your children in a strong and loving way. Don't leave it all on your wife to do that. That's lame. You're not being a strong and loving husband or father. Step up, get stronger, respect yourself enough, and love your kids enough to show them what's appropriate and what's not in that loving way. Okay, tease her, flirt with her, have fun with your wife, joke around, you know, and approach sex as a way to connect with her, right? All of this, right? All of this comes from respecting and loving yourself enough to do these things. And here's what's going to happen. When you do this, it's crazy. But again, it's counterintuitive, right? When you have that strength inside yourself, this is exactly when you're going to get more attention, appreciation, affection, and hurt from her, is when you do not need it. Okay. So when you respect and love yourself enough, she's going to start respecting and loving you more. And then that attention, appreciation, affection is going to flow naturally. You're not going to need it as much, and you're going to get more of it. And it's going to be amazing. So as you grow in your spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, and sexual strength, you start to feel incredible. One of the guys in our group just wrote a couple days ago, life is so much better on the strong side. And that's really how I felt when I learned this stuff. And that's why I love sharing it. It really felt like I was let out of jail. I felt just incredible, strong, joyful again. And you can be there too. Okay? You start to respect yourself. Okay? You start to love yourself more. And now you don't need your wife for attention, appreciation, or affection. But again, you get more of it than ever because you've earned respect and love. Okay. You get attention, appreciation, and affection after you've earned respect and love. And you earn respect and love by respecting and loving yourself, by doing those things we talked about, building up your spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, and sexual strength. Okay. Taking care of yourself outside of the marriage so that your wife, you don't put this responsibility on your wife to take care of everything about you. So now, again, you don't need your wife. You choose your wife because you love her and you want to be with her. And you choose her out of the many options available to you, because when you have these strengths and skills, you understand, yeah, I could choose someone else, but I don't want to, right? I choose my wife. Because again, when you develop these strengths and skills, you're the man that any woman would love to be married to. So if you are in a situation where your marriage is really bad right now, where you're facing separation or divorce, and you do still choose your wife, you do still want to be with her, the weird thing is a lot of guys will think, oh, I got to go grab her. I got to go like drag her back. But that never works. She wants to pull away from that. What you need to do instead is focus on these things. Build up your strength and skill. Realize how you've been, what I call a mosquito or a dictator. Build up your ability to love and respect yourself, to call yourself out on what's been problematic, to be able to also call your wife out on what's been problematic. Okay. Again, counterintuitive, but that shows her that you have strength and that you can be respected and loved. And she is initially probably not going to like it, but later she will start to respect you more, which will lead to more attention, appreciation, and affection. All right. So, in summary, you are not going to get more attention, appreciation, or affection from your wife by asking for it. At least not in the long term. It might work for a little bit, but you're not going to be satisfied with it, and neither is she. Okay, the way you get attention, appreciation, and affection is by earning her respect and love. Okay, you get attention, appreciation, and affection by earning her respect and love. And you earn that by respecting and loving yourself. You build up your internal strengths, your spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, and sexual strength, and your interpersonal skills, your ability to solve problems, your ability to communicate, your ability to approach sex in a way that's positive. So I invite you guys, join the strongman system, and you're going to learn exactly how to do these things step by step, simply in a way that's incredibly effective. You're going to feel better about yourself than you ever have. And because of that, you're going to have the best relationship you've ever had with God, yourself, your wife, and your kids in 90 days or less. That's the promise. So it opens next on Monday, September 21st. That's the first one. So if you're not on my email list yet, go over to strongmenstrongmarriages.com and jump on the email list, and you'll get updates about that. All right, guys, stay strong, men. We'll see you next episode.